2PM, la radio des auditeurs.
Royal FM, il est 14h.
Subscribe to Maso Gold. Maso Gold, conceived for the total fulfillment of all and sundry.
The 2PM Newscast
with
Germaine Ta.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are warmly welcome to the 2PM News on Royal FM, brought to you by me, Germaine Ta. But first, I'm in points. The Mutual Assistance and Solidarity Maso, more than ever striving to reach every nooks and corners of the country so as to revamp the African solidarity spirit in our society. Give details on opportunities the Maso Act 3 offers in this news. More women in politics and other organizations have launched a national awareness campaign to fight against hate speech and tribalism. But just what is the aim of this campaign all about?
Our aim here is to educate the masses and the population about the negative consequences of tribalism and hate speech.
So we are here to bring our peace in the country, peace and unity and togetherness.
And out of the country, Nigeria's parliament has called for a forensic audit after its reports found that over the last decade, $25 billion has been spent on trying to fix the country's dilapidated oil refineries. Those were the main points. Details right ahead.
Maso, the special page in the news.
And as you heard in one of our late stories, 38 days to the July 9 raffle draw ceremony at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sport Complex. 28 days to the end of registration and contribution into the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity Scheme. Abel Balasamari, our Director of Information in the following reports, gives the ambience in the different agencies of Renapo Finance SA.
Si vous prenez par exemple 100 000 ou 1 million, on va vous donner cet argent. Maintenant, pour venir remettre, vous allez payer sans intérêt.
This is the ambience that reign in the different agencies of Renapo Finance SA. 38 days to the July 9, 2023 raffle draw ceremony to take place at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex as from 2 p.m. with 29 days to the end of registration and contribution into the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity Maso. Mutualists could be seen line up in front of these agencies to either complete their contribution or participate in the raffle draw. These mutualists we came in contact could not hide his joy for the creation of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity Maso that has permitted Cameroonians and the government to fight against poverty.
I'll start by thanking the President, Emmanuel Noel Bissay, for having this initiative, because many of us have ever found the way to have such a opportunity, and is the only one who have at least make up his mind and accepted to give us this opportunity. So I thank him very much for that, for the act.
These mutualists meet Tayon, who won during Act 1 of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity, says Maso has completely changed his life for good.
What I am experiencing here is quite encouraging. It's quite lucky to be part of this mutual, because it's not easy to see somebody removing his taxi and give you like that, and then he follows you up again to see that you are able to cope and balance the money for the taxi. But what I'm seeing here is quite encouraging. So anybody that is doubting, keep his doubt behind and push forward.
He went further to say,
Many questions are being asked to me inside the taxi. Is this thing that I'm hearing really true? But me as an ambassador of Maso, I am there always to tell them that no, it's true. I put myself down and I explain everything to them to tell them that everything you hear through the radio is perfectly true.
This other winner of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity equally share his story, how Maso has transformed his life and he has become an ambassador of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity to woo Cameroonians to register into the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity, and they too can benefit like him.
For me, those words was not true. I would tell them that it was a wrong way of thinking. For me, I was optimistic. I had the hope.
What are some of the things that you have realized being a proprietor of a car like this?
In my activities with the family, everything is now better than before. Yes, that is truly speaking, everything is better than before.
With this to the July 9, 2023 events, Cameroonians are called upon to rush to any Renapo Finance SA agencies. There are 27 of them in Cameroon, 13 in the capital city Yaoundé, to wrap up with their contribution or register into the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity. For this year, Act 3 of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity promises to be another point of reference when it comes to the promotion of African solidarity and assistance.
The Director of Information, Abel, equally present what it takes from a mutualist to benefit from the death of his partner. Take a listen.
These fall under the natural advantages of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity, MASO. In the MASO jargon, it is assistance in times of sad moment. If it is your partner, that is your wife or your husband, when you are less than 5 years of mutualism, the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity give you a death benefit of 200,000 francs CFA. To benefit this amount, the mutualist has to furnish the following document: a handwritten application signed by the mutualist himself or herself, a certified true copy of the death certificate of the wife or husband signed by the competent authorities, that is the divisional officer or the mayor, a certified true copy of the birth certificate of the dead wife or husband signed by competent authority, that is the divisional officer or the mayor, a photocopy of the mutualist marriage certificate signed by a mayor, photocopy of the mutualist valid membership card of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity MASO, a certificate to indicate the type of death signed by a medical doctor, a photocopy of the disease identity card signed by a competent authority in a police station, a photocopy of the national identity card of the mutualist signed by a competent authority in a police station. With these documents available, the mutualist is sure of getting the assistance and solidarity he or she needs during such moment. All this is to valorize our African value of solidarity and assistance.
Abel Bella Samarinda reports in the following excerpt selected from an interview granted by Reverend Pastor Bisai Emmanuel to Royal FM. He explains what we stand to gain from the African Solidarity Scheme, MASO.
Yes, of course. Add to this bonus, it is that in Act 3, some of these mutualists will benefit without paying any franc. The objective is to bring our brothers and sisters to the understanding that if we are united, if we progress hand in hand, and that our hands are better managed, we can move mountains, and we too will take what we have as values. These values are found in these big words: to give and to receive. This value of solidarity. You know, in my mother tongue, Adi Bakoko, we talk about capitalism. We cannot find ourselves. When they talk about socialism, we cannot find ourselves. But when we talk about solidarity, it is easy to say yum. And when we say yum, it means
la rencontre des femmes.
The meeting of men, women, or youth. This association you see will resist within time. That is the reason why it is easy to see such associations that have existed for up to 50 or 100 years. Our initiative, when engaged Just to tell you the truth, very few individual fortunes can resist with the time, because capitalism does not fall within our realities, talk less of socialism. But solidarity itself is in our DNA. If we make use of it, automatically we all shall succeed, and everybody, like I said earlier, will see the bright light. Maso is here to reinforce the basic social needs. Apart from the housing, we have boreholes. Apart from water, we have the hospital complex, which will be inaugurated in the days ahead. There you will find the latest equipment, even though not the latest generation, but can at least cure sick mutualists at very low cost. That is the strength of the 1/100 contribution from others. The Ayom, from my place, we are here to show the way. As I'm telling you, we can survive if we decide to move together.
Reverend Pastor Bisai Emmanuel Noel speaking there.
Maso, that was the special page in the news.
Cameroon today joins other nations worldwide to celebrate Global Day of Parents under the theme Building Stronger Families for a Better Future. The theme underscores the importance of fostering strong family bonds, promoting parental involvement. Proclaimed by the United Nations on June 1, 2012, Global Day of Parents seeks to emphasize the critical role of parents in raising and nurturing children while promoting the well-being of families worldwide. Gwenny Victorine is a sociologist. She shed light on the role of parents in our society.
The role of parents is quite important in the lives of their children and cannot be overemphasized, as parents are the role models in the lives of their children. These parents are the people that the children into the world, and they are responsible for their upbringing. If a child goes wayward, we always look on the parents, and if a child is well brought up, credit goes to the parents. So parents are very, very vital in the lives of the children, in that they are brought into the world. We teach them in their everyday routine, we teach them in their upbringing, and we try to inculcate morals into the lives of these children so that they grow up to become very important and vital people in society. They don't become societal vices, because if they are not taught morals, if they are not inculcated some values, then tomorrow they will be criminals in the society, and the society will look at them as a danger.
The sociologist Gwenny Victorine speaking there to Frenier Crispin. The growing rate of single parents has been witnessed by many in our society, thereby raising concern on how parents are responsible enough with the education of their kids, as well as how do these single parents raise their kids. Our newsroom interviewed some of them, and here's their reaction in the following voice pop.
Being a single mother for me is not easy, since I have to work and take care of my daughter at the same time. At times, I have certain difficulties, because to go and take her to school and come back with her is not easy, since we are living together. And at times, I even come back from the work tired. Even to revise with her is not easy. But on Sunday, we usually revise together.
Me as a single mother, it's not an easy task to raise a kid, because you have to attend to the child, you have to fight with daily bread, you have to do one thing or the other, and in that matter alone, without no one assisting you, especially financially, because you see you have some, if maybe you are not in the family house, you have rent to pay, you have bills, you have to feed the child. You have to do everything alone.
Give my own opinion. I think that most parents who are still young, most of them are not that responsible. They don't want to shoulder their responsibilities, and they were quite aware that they were carrying these responsibilities and bringing for these children into the world. But most of them are not responsible. They try to, push up the burden to other elderly family members to cater for their kids for them. So most of them are not really that responsible, compared to before while we're growing up.
To me, the parents nowadays, you cannot actually give a global conclusion, but because there are parents that are still responsible, that take care of their children, they try to follow up their children, that's a behavioral pattern. But there are most of the parents around, especially in major towns, they care less about their children or their kids. They transfer their duties to maybe teachers or nannies, and it brings a lot of problems.
From one day to another, World Milk Day is equally being celebrated today. Established by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN, it seeks to recognize the importance of milk as a global food and to celebrate the dairy sector. This year's edition of World Milk Day focuses on showcasing how dairy is reducing its environmental footprint while also providing nutritious food and livelihood. Sangu is a nutritionist. He begins by explaining different types of milk that exist as well as their importance.
When we talk about milk, we can differentiate the natural milk from the mammalian human beings and the synthesized one. And the difference between the two of them is that the one of mammalian human being, that is more of important nutritional values of milk, of mammalian human milk. And when the natural milk from mammalian human being is secreted, it has the purpose of bringing the nutrients and minerals to the babies. And then from that nutrients, we have, for example, vitamin B12. We have vitamin B1. We have calcium, potassium, and other nutrients that are more important for the growth and the nutrition of the baby. That is why we say that milk, or natural one, is more and very, very important for the nurture of also to prevent many diseases from that baby.
The nutritionist Sangu Shwaibu further makes some important revelation about milk.
It's not advisable for the men or women of more than 40 years to consume milk because the lack of nutrients from natural milk can be associated with other disease. That is why, because we are not finding people of old age are not eating fruit and vegetables, they have sometimes lack of those nutrients, especially vitamin B12 and vitamin B1. Also calcium, that is supposed to give enough power to the bones, to our bones. That is why for those who are for more than 40 years, they are not advisable to drink synthetic milk. And also even the natural milk are supposed to be drinking by the babies.
Onto something else, mothers and their children united for peace and social cohesion in Cameroon. That's the theme under which a national awareness campaign to fight against hate speech and tribalism is underway in Yaoundé, organized by More Women in Politics and several other organizations. Our reporter Jean-Marie Naba attended the event and caught up with some leaders. Let's listen to some of them in the following voice pop.
My name is Ngu Divine Achu. I'm an advocate in the East African Law Society. I'm one of the organizers. I'm the National Secretary General for the Cameroon Patriotic Youth. So our aim here is to educate the masses and the population about the negative consequences of tribalism and hate speech. You know, hate speech has become a canker worm, which is more than AIDS, it's more than cancer, create damages more than we can expect. As you saw us here, we came with traditional rulers from the Northwest. Their aim was to bring the message.
So we are here to bring our peace in the country, peace and unity and togetherness. We have to respect each and every one value. There should be no violence. The President of the United States, probably our father, he wants us to live as a unity, to live in peace and unity and to be together. There should be no violence, no disrespect, no disorder. So that's why we are here today. And to bring our children together to understand that we need to live in peace. There should be peace. That peace have to reign. There is nothing that will make us to live in disorder or to live in violence. My name is Geraldine Takere. I am one of the strong militants of Yaoundé 2. We used to be president, and I create CVDM in Foundation Chantabia. I created again and I install it. I created in L'Hôpital Central, all Madagascar, and all the cellules. I'm the one that created it and I install it. I give the education about politics, telling them that we should hold together. We should be always together. We should have peace. We should live as a unity, and we should educate our kids not to go to any violence, that they should be in unity. They should go to school. They should respect their parents, and they should be the children with respect.
The National Commission on Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism is today signing some memorandums of understanding with some civil society organizations in Yaoundé within the framework of the fight against hate speech and xenophobia in the country. The ceremony to take place at the headquarters of the Commission was scheduled at 11 a.m. and will be headed by the chairman of the Commission, Peter Mafani Musonge. 160 promoters of private development projects financed by the state have been summoned to appear before the Control and Verification Mission of the Supreme State Audit Office. The summons issued by the Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of the Supreme State Audit Office on the esteemed instruction of the Head of State aimed at ensuring the judicious use of public funds. They are to appear before the Supreme State Audit Office this Friday, June 2nd, 2023. A special campaign to fight against road accident has been launched today by the Minister of Transport, Jean-Ernest Massenangalehe-Bibehe. And for this afternoon news edition, we sought to know if some drivers in the nation's capital will respond to this measure by saving human lives while plying our roads.
I have been respecting that long time ago because to wear a seatbelt is to wear safety, not even for the government. The government just wanted to push you people to wear your seatbelt just to avoid accidents.
Now some they don't like, they say they are feeling uncomfortable to put their safety belt. That's their choice. You will not force somebody to do it.
Some drivers in the capital city of Yaoundé have been expressing a high sense of conformity to the special road prevention campaign launched today across the national territory. The campaign comes few days after the Minister of Transport, Jean-Ernest Massenangalehe-Bibehe, on May 29 made public a press release to call the attention of the general public on these preventive measures. Some of them have been sharing their experience in the microphone of our reporter Eratus Dwe. Take a listen.
I have been respecting that long time ago because to wear a seatbelt is to wear safety, not even for the government. The government just wanted to push you people to wear your seatbelt just to avoid accident. If you know what is being by accident, you could have wearing your seatbelt all the time.
For me, I have just decided to keep away from overloading because these measures have been put together so that the number of accidents that are taking place all this while in Yaoundé and other cities stop.
We sensitize the passenger because everybody you have to put on their seatbelt. It's for our safety. In any case like accident, everything, if you must have put off their seatbelt, you will not get displaced from the particular point that you are in the car. Now some they don't like, they say they are feeling uncomfortable to put their safety belt. That's their choice. You will not force somebody to do it. And like that you see, but those who will do it, do know that it is for their safety. They will put their safety belt.
In the meantime, the amount of death recorded in Cameroon in the past days have raised an alarm to the Ministry of Transport, who has decided to deploy its agents on the field this day to better have an understanding of the road safety agent modus operandi. Our reporter Eratus Dwe interviewed one of the agents and our report.
Atutu Etienne Freddy is one of the accident prevention and road safety agents deployed along the Kwaba-Yaoundé stretch. Says their modus operandi is diversified, with primordial aim being fighting against road trafficking and accident.
We can work on insurance, visit technique, maybe this day. The next day, we have to work on license driving. The next day, we have to work on the belt and the entire way the vehicle is. If the vehicle has the possibility to be on the road, if you are even traveling, you have to buy the extinguisher because you can maybe reach the highway like this. We had a problem by night, your car can take fire. Then you have to buy the emergency box. If you have an accident, you have headache while you are driving, you can park the car, take the emergency box, and then you take medicine that you have to take. Sure, the Ministry of Transport have diversity of activities that we have to be having on the field.
In as much as their duties to prevent road casualties, Etienne Freddy further advanced that they do go through physical and mental harassment by the drivers and passengers, thus prepare for such inconveniences.
When you're on the road like this, you can stop a vehicle, trying to control the vehicle. The driver or the passengers will just come out of the car, insulting you, slap you. Sometimes they can even come like this. They will be claiming that we are not able to be controlling them because we are not policemen. We have been trying to tell them that no, this is not all about the Ministry of Transport. But for now like this, the new constitutions permits us to work by ourselves. Yes, at least they can still come and support us. That's the truth. Just to avoid fighting.
As they work in synergy to ensure safety in our society, they call on all to be self-censor and respect the measures put in place by the Ministry of Transport. However, the special national-wide operation will run from June 1st to September 30th, 2023.
Thank you, Eratus Ndwe. In education, two scripts of the ongoing baccalaureate exam, according to reports, happen to have been revised or created by some teachers in two secondary schools here in Yaoundé. The information was disclosed by some students during one of the written sessions. The students revealed that they had created exact script during preparatory classes. This happening therefore led our newsroom to question the different criteria for script selection used in the different public exams board. Finwe Crispin spoke with pedagogues and compiled this report.
According to Ponenji Silvanus, a pedagogue, the baccalaureate as well as the GCE boards are very competent and strict. Reason why such happenings cannot come from them.
When the examiners set scripts and send to the board takes the scripts and they go for their own work, which the work is done by the assistant chief examiners and the chief examiners. And what comes in the GCE is known only by the board. Nobody knows what comes to the GCE. It's true that teachers may set their questions and may be revising with their children, just like any other teacher who revises past GCE questions with their children.
The pedagogue further reveals that it can happen that a teacher revises the questions he or she proposed to the board, but nothing is guaranteed.
It's true that teachers may set their questions and may be revising with their children, just like any other teacher who revises past GCE questions with their children. Every teacher revises past GCE questions with their children, but there is no guarantee that any question will come.
However, Julius Neba, another pedagogue, blames some of those in charge of organizing the exams.
Some of these schools are being owned by these people who work in this selection board. So you see, there's a whole lot of business where somebody wants the school to perform well, and the parents, when you say they are going to this school, the first question is, il y avait un pourcentage de combien? Il y avait 5% là-bas. People have discovered that parents go to schools not because they teach their children well, but because of 100% in exams. For that, they create connections where even those that select the papers, smuggle them into these schools.
This incident with the baccalaureate exams just comes to add to the numerous cases recorded in the different examinations in Cameroon.
Out of the country, Nigeria's parliament has called for a forensic audit after its reports found that over the last decade, $25 billion have been spent on trying to fix the country's dilapidated oil refineries. Despite the enormous cost it found, they were working at less than 30% capacity. This news comes as the price of fuel has doubled in Nigeria after the new president Bola Tinubu announced the scrapping of fuel subsidy. In more foreign news, Zimbabwe's parliament has voted in favor of a controversial bill to punish citizens for unpatriotic acts, including imposing heavy fines or even the death penalty on them. Critics have called it a dark day for democracy. The so-called Patriot Clause of the Criminal Act targets those who harm the national interest of Zimbabwe. On to sports with Evans William Jobate. Will start with the national team coach Rigobert Song Bahanak, who is going to convene a list of 26 players for the US friendly match.
As earlier announced in this news edition, team manager of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, Rigobert Song, will at 5 p.m. today publish his list of 26 selected players to go at loggerheads in a friendly match with Mexico on June 10, 2023. In line with this press conference at the Fekafoot Technical Center in Oja, fans and experts have shared their views on the type of players they would like to see in San Diego, USA in the days ahead.
it will be good for hidden talents to showcase what they are capable of doing. So a little bit of the pros and as well as home and foreign-based talents.
I would like to see Onana because the guy is competent, and you know, competence is what makes success.
I don't see the need for calling a player like Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, Zambo Anguissa, Andre Onana. Those are people we already know, they are sure. I think rather it's time to call up new names like Che Malone, local players, one of the best defenders, Emmanuel Mahop Jr.
The coach have to select his best players and the players that will really perform throughout the season. We have players like Zambo Anguissa, who is naturally one of our best midfielders. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, who missed out the end of the season because of injury. I'm sure he's going to be there. Also, Andre Onana.
So got for us the day 20 March complete result of the Women's Super League events.
Looking at the Women's Super League, we see the match day 20 already recording its first result with the Guinea-Siko clash that opposed crown title winners Leke Football Fee in a 0-0 all tie with FC Ebolova Fee, where goalkeeper Kismael Onomo of the FC Ebolova was made the 20th woman of the Guinea-Siko this season. As for the rest of the result of this day 20, we saw Love Minprof gain a slight 2-1 victory over RS Fortuna Fee. Edin Football Women and Kaimang Women separated on a 1-1 all tie. And Amazon FAP Women obtained a 1-0 win over Gando Football Women Academy. The last game of this match day will be completed with RS Our Women, who will confront a Eclair Football Women of SAR today at the Annex 1 Omispor Amado Ahijo Stadium later at 3 p.m.
What other sport package can you add to close the sport page for us, Evans?
With the International Cycling Tour of Cameroon scheduled for Saturday, June 3rd, 2023, has already witnessed the arrival of 2 teams from Cameroon alongside 9 others in the North Regional capital of Garoua. Among the foreign teams to compete for the yellow jersey, 2 are from France, 1 from Holland, and 4 others from African countries. And in volleyball, 3 of Cameroon's volleyball teams have begun a training session at the Yaoundé Multi-Purpose Sports Complex in anticipation for the World and African Volleyball Championship. The various categories include players from the under